Welcome into the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I am Jake Willett. I am joined alongside Nolan Humphreys for the season opener for the 2026 women's lacrosse season between the Eagles of Husson University and the Nor'easters of the University of New England. We thank you for joining us here on a chilly Wednesday afternoon here at Boucher Field. Back at Boucher for the first time in a few months. Nolan, how are you thinking? Jesus, see, we're still in spring training here. What are your thoughts heading into this one?
Yeah, I think it's a good matchup for both squads, and Husson kind of set the tone for the season coming up with a game here against UNE, and UNE can do the same thing. However this game plays out, it can shape kind of the tone for Husson's weekend as they play Dean Saturday, and for UNE whenever they play Southern Maine the 24th.
Eagles will be in their white home uniforms with green letters, Husson across the front, Eagles across the back. UNE will be wearing their black road uniforms with white lettering with blue trim with University of New England across the front. The story to watch for this season is Avery Baker's record-chasing performance. She already leads the program history in goals with 131, and she is just 11 points behind her head coach, Amanda DeHaze, for the most points in program history. And we will have a draw control right off the rip here. Eagles will be going from right to left, and UNE will be going from left to right. Whistle. And UNE is going to have the first possession of the season. Swinging it down towards the front of the goal. Bolliton trying to swing it across. Adela maybe coming back to Bangor, where she played her high school lacrosse after a season at UMass Dartmouth. Ryan Mochi running towards the middle of the field and finds an open Madison Lauer. Eagles working it down. Adela maybe works in towards the goal. Up top there for Gracie Gardner. Two-sport athlete here, also plays field hockey. UNE is going to corral it on the loose ball.
Gracie Gardner did a good job there driving in, kind of taking away two defenders. Was not able to get the pass, but that's something that they're going to look to do often is draw those two defenders away from each other, create odd player situations.
Cloutier, 90 seconds on the shot clock here in women's lacrosse. The Nor'easters swinging it around the back of the goal. And McCollin Wood, captain for this Nor'easters team. Swings it over to Cloutier. Down low, UNE continuing to play the possession game. Ball thrown in. Back up top and a loose ball. Little incidental contact there with Avery Baker. But Lauer going to pick up the ball, and it's going to go right out of bounds. Right to the whole group of fans, right basically on the field. UNE swinging it, lose, turnover. And picked up there by Cloutier. Colin Wood. Bolliton down low. UNE continuing to play the possession game. Cloutier into the middle, knocked down. There by Jory Board. Avery Baker making a push towards the offensive end. Tight defense by Julia Baldwin. Up top is Bemke, former Rookie of the Year in the North Atlantic Conference. Bemke looking for a shot, dumps it in. Shot and Eagles will put one in to open up the scoring on the season. Reese Sullivan.
Yeah, Sullivan does a good job at being able to collect that ball and dump it. Bounce it far from the goalie, out of Olivia Ferraro's reach. And a great way to start there is Husson's going to take a 1-0 lead. When kind of most of their play wasn't even in their end, they had a couple of good defensive possessions on UNE, and UNA didn't string the passes that they wanted to together. And Husson starts the season off with a nice goal.
So we'll have a draw control after the goal. Avery Baker in there for the Eagles. Whistle, and one by UNE. That was Valley Carruthers, who's immediately going to be replaced with Collinwood. Molly Henderson works towards the back of the Eagle net. Played up top, poked in the air. Still corralled there by UNE with Collinwood. Henderson walks into the middle. More passing here for the Nor'easters. Back up top, Carruthers. Collinwood. And the Eagles will get the possession now.
Yeah, defensively for Husson, 24 in white, Jory Boyd has made some really good defensive plays. And there, UNE was they were getting close there. They were able to string their passes that they want together. It's just one crucial mistake in the crease, and they had a good chance to tie it.
Got a whistle. UNE will have the ball. We have a green card assessed here. Avery Baker. So a 1-minute penalty for Avery Baker. So UNE will be up a player for the next minute. And the power play will begin for UNE. First look at the UNE power play. Ball dumped in down low for Chloe Ryan. Ryan walks in and knocked away by Jory Boyd. Big over the top pass. We have a whistle. UNE's going to get called for the push.
Yeah, that's one of those you probably would have taken if you're Husson. You would have liked that one to stay in the pocket there, that whistle, because Reese Sullivan would have had what seemed like a breakaway here, kind of shorthanded.
15 seconds left on the Avery Baker penalty. Another whistle. Green card assessed to Riley Menard. So UNE will be up 2 for 9 seconds.
Yeah, you got to string some passes here. You're going to have some open players if you've got it, but it looks like they might have just turned that over. So you wasted what would have been a really crucial 2 players up.
Five seconds remain on the Avery Baker penalty. So now it'll be 12 on 11 for the next 45 seconds. Another whistle. So Gracie Gardner will pick up a green card. So right back to a two-person advantage for the Nor'easters for 43 seconds here.
Yeah, if we don't be careful, we're probably going to get a green card too. They're throwing him out, seems like, early on in this one.
Green card assessed to Nolan Humphreys up in the booth.
The good news is Husson's, they've had that good defense. They haven't allowed UNE to do much with it.
Carruthers with a lot of space. Down low. Back up top. Good ball movement in. And Nor'easters are going to put one in the back of the net on a power play.
Yeah, really good look. You're kind of goal line extended. You've got someone cutting in the slot, down the alley. That's all it takes is that one pass, able to catch it. And at that point, it's a player's dream when it's just you and the goalie, because you can go anywhere you really want with it. You can bounce it between the legs, top left, top right. She goes top left there, and game's knotted up at 1. And for Husson, now you've got to start to be a little more disciplined because you're taking penalties and it's costing you.
Emma Collinwood is going to pick up her first goal of the season. She scored 15 last year for the Nor'easters. And Ansley Carney will pick up her first collegiate point with the assist. So the field is back to even, 12 on 12. The Nor'easters trying to add to the momentum scale. Carruthers swings it over to Ryan down for Ballatin, one of the captains on this Nor'easters club. Carruthers gets bumped. We have a whistle, and we're going to have another card assessed. Adela Maybe's going to pick up the foul, the penalty, illegal use of the stick.
Yeah, UNE's had all of this time on, time of possession, and Husson players going to be a little tired, a little gassed. They've been playing in their own for a while.
Abby Como tried to feed one into the middle for Ryan. That one stays in play. UNE walking in. That's Ballatin up top for Collinwood. And another whistle. We have a flag. So a free position attempt will come to University of New England. Looks like Emma Collinwood's going to have the ball. So Collinwood has the ball on the free position attempt. She walks in, fires, and a save there by Salen Backer.
Really good save there. Husson did a good job at collapsing on Collingwood there, not allowing her to kind of get off a clean shot. A really good save from the freshman keeper and Salen Backer.
Maybe's penalty is over, and the Eagles break on the offensive end now. Lauer up top for Bemke, one of the better players in the conference. Number 11 in white. Down into the shooting circle. Baker shot and puts one in the back of the net.
Yeah, he lost her stick in the process there. Almost the exact same type of shot that that Sullivan scored on the first Husson Eagles goal. And you look at kind of time of possession, it's very lopsided, and the fact that the Eagles have this lead here, I mean, the man-down defense has been really well for the Husson Eagles, and you imagine if they can stay disciplined and not get any cards or flags, then they'll be able to do something as far as their offense goes, because that's been clicking.
After a 36-goal campaign last year, Avery Baker puts in her first of the season, moving her career high to 132 career goals. Another draw control win by the Nor'easters and Carruthers. Avery Baker now just 10 points from tying the all-time points record here at Husson University with her head coach, Amanda DeHaze. Como down low. Carruthers now. Still working around the Nor'easters. Henderson. Tried to get something going. Carruthers. 45 seconds left on the shot clock, so half of the shot clock has transpired here. Collinwood to Carruthers. Swings it around to Chloe Ryan. Como. Under 30 seconds now. Underhand toss to Collinwood. About 15 on the clock. UNE's got to get something off. Shot, score. Believe it was Valley Carruthers.
Yeah, good job coming in and dangling the ball in her stick a little bit, keeping it away from any defenders, and puts a nice goal on and is able to tie the game back up for UNE. Husson's got to find a job at getting some exits going and getting out of their zone.
Valley Carruthers scored 7 goals last season for the Nor'easters, puts in her first one in the 2026 campaign. Hallie Huizenga picks up the assist. Avery Baker now with the draw control. Another win for UNE. Carruthers has been outstanding in this one here so far. Huizenga behind the net. Just added a point to her season total. And the most recent goal scorer, Carruthers, swings it over to Ballatin and a whistle. Gracie Gardner. So it'll be a yellow card, so 2 minutes on the penalty. Illegal contact, 2 minutes. Two to two, your score here at Boucher with under 5 minutes to go here. So UNE will have the ball after the yellow card. And up top, Chloe Ryan loses it, gets it right back. Underhand toss to Carruthers. Collinwood, already one of the goal scorers here. Knocked down there on the defensive end by Jory Boyd. And a whistle. UNE is going to pick up their first card of the day, as it'll be a yellow.
And again, it's number 24 in white, Jory Boyd, with another really good defensive play, and ends up getting Husson not a man-up advantage, but a penalty so that you can go to even strength here. And in a minute and a half, you're going to have a player up for about 31 seconds.
Chloe Ryan's going to pick up the yellow card, so she will sit for 2 minutes. Even strength now here between the Eagles and the Nor'easters. Over to Bemke. Kate Bemke surveys. Finds an open Avery Baker. And knocked down by the defensive players of UNE. Almost stolen away in the middle. Bemke walks in. And a flag. So free position for the Eagles now. Our second free position of the day.
Yeah, and let's see how these UNE defenders are going to try to collapse on Bemke here. She's going to be able to get the shot off quickly and cleanly to beat the freshman keeper.
Bemke going to shoot and knocked down and saved by Olivia Ferraro, the freshman from Burrillville, Rhode Island.
Yeah, really good save. Bemke tried to go low, maybe 5-hole right between the legs, and Ferraro declined it.
So 30 more seconds until the Eagles will have the player advantage. Ballatin walks in, and it's going to score.
Yeah, what a goal right there by Ballatin, one of the captains for this group from Syracuse, New York. Just kind of dekes her way through the whole defense there, keeps her stick up high and protected, and puts on a nice goal. And it's not shocking seeing her score. She's got now 97 goals in her career, 3 away from 100, and had 30 goals a campaign ago. So she's been pretty good this last couple of seasons, and she starts 2026 off strong with a nice goal.
So it'll be Ballatin unassisted, her first of the 2026 campaign. Former Rookie of the Year, also on the University of New England women's soccer program, who had a pretty solid campaign.
Yeah, and finally right there, you get a draw control win from Avery Baker. She's been struggling in that category. Really nice job there. That sun bothering Avery Baker. They're not able to catch that ball, and here comes UNE.
Eagles have the person advantage, the power play, for another 25 seconds. About 2:45 remaining here in the first quarter. UNE just captured their first lead of the night on a Sydney Ballatin goal. Carruthers surveying. Finds Ballatin, the most recent goal scorer.
And now we're all even here.
Chloe Ryan enters and immediately will get the ball. Finds Henderson. Henderson walks in, shoots, and a big stick save there from Salen Backer. Riley Menard sprinting up the sideline. A lot of room, and now we'll slow down and try and possess here for the Eagles. Bemke has an opportunity. She is surveying, trying to find a teammate. She's going to try and walk in now. Loses it. Ball still on the turf. Picked up by the Eagles. Ryan Mochi. Mochi was trying to find Lauer, couldn't connect on the pass. Here comes Kate Bemke. Bemke goes over the top. Double teamed. Trying to squeak through. Ball still on the turf. And UNE is going to corral it. Cassidy Jacobson. Here comes Collinwood. Adela Maybe was on the back check. Ryan down low. Up top for Ballatin. She thought about firing a shot. Decided not to, and we have a whistle and a flag. So a free position shot here. Believe it's Sydney Ballatin.
Yeah, looking for a second. Again, let's see how fast she gets it off.
Ballatin with a bounce shot and gets it to go.
Husson not able to collapse. And Ballatin just wide open there on that free possession shot. There's not much Salen Backer was going to be able to do. And, you know, in a game where it seems like it's been all UNE, they've had kind of most of the time of possession. Husson is still only down by 2 goals. And, you know, it feels like they've only played 30 seconds in their end versus, 15 minutes in UNE's end. So
Sydney Ballatin will pick up her second goal of the season, a free position goal.
2 goals away now from the 100 goal mark, which would, that's a big milestone for anybody. So,
and another draw control win for Valley Carruthers, who has been lights out in the draw control category. And that'll do it for the first quarter. UNE takes a 4-2 lead into the break. Nolan, first quarter thoughts?
I think for Husson, the cards killed them. All the penalties that they took, it just, UNE didn't score on the man up, but they definitely had chances and time of possession. And when UNE's got the ball, Husson can't score, obviously. So, but however, I think Husson did some really good things defensively. They didn't really break down. They stood tall, and Jory Boyd was kind of the most, recognizable player out there for me. I think she was really good defensively, and offensively they've got to do a little bit more at getting it involved down the alley. I think they're struggling when it comes to passing it around. You want to try to get people cutting backdoor and find a pass that can lead to a goal. Only down 2, though, with all those penalties you took. I think you're at a good spot if you're Husson.
2 goals from Sydney Ballatin. We will be back here in about a minute for second quarter action here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Back here for second quarter action here at Boucher Field. I'm Jake Willett. I'm joined alongside Nolan Humphreys. Second quarter, 15 minutes on the clock. UNE has a 4-2 lead. Sydney Ballatin with 2 goals. Valley Carruthers and Emma Collingwood also added goals for the Nor'easters. Avery Baker and Reese Sullivan are the 2 goal scorers for the Eagles. Due to the new rules, UNE will have possession to start instead of a draw control, since they ended the quarter with possession in the offensive end.
Yeah, I think for Husson, they've got to do a better job of getting it to their top players. Avery Baker, Bimke's had it a couple times, but they're doing a really good job defending her. See if you can get it to Avery Baker.
Over for Carruthers. Ella Cloutier down low. Fight for the ball. Up against the snow. Pulled away by UNE and Molly Henderson. Carruthers to Ryan. Chloe Ryan goes over the top. Spins, loses it, gains it right back. And a whistle. Chloe Ryan picks up an offensive foul. So the ball will head to the Eagles. Kate Bemke looking to enter the contest after coming in as the reigning North Atlantic Conference Rookie of the Year. Avery Baker gets it. Slowly walks in. A minute on the shot clock now. Down low for Mucci. To Avery Baker. Into the middle for Lauer, and it's going to go as a turnover. Whistle. And a foul against UNE. So Kate Bemke now will control the pace. 2 minutes into the quarter here. Bemke walks in. Big stick save there by Ferraro. Ball thrown behind Julia Baldwin. Lauer. Working through the offensive end. Kate Bemke. Shannon McDonough, freshman, part of this incoming class for Coach Amanda DeHaze. Bemke thought about it. Will dump it out for McDonough. Baker. Gets it to Lauer. Lauer with one on, clears it. Eagles will still retain. Riley Menard. Bemke. Spins. All hesitation. Under 12 minutes to go here in the first half. UNE still has a 4-2 advantage. Bemke spins. Little ground ball over to Lauer. It's going to stay with the Eagles. Baker into the middle, falls down, and will lose possession. Abby Como works up the sideline. Thrown behind Ella Cloutier. Cloutier with Collingwood to her left. Will move to the right side, down low for the Nor'easters. Behind the net. Gets it to Carruthers. Collingwood. UNE continuing to work the possession game. Something that Nolan mentioned in the first quarter. UNE has a lot of the time of possession numbers so far through a quarter and a third, I should say. And we have a whistle.
Yeah, it's going to be a goal there for Chloe Ryan. She drives down the right alley there and just rips one. And Salem Backer not able to save it. Tough defensive breakdown there for Husson. And it seems, they had some positives to start this quarter where they were playing most of it in their attack zone. And UNE has a little bit of chance to take some time of possession back, and they connect on a goal.
Chloe Ryan's first of the season goes in unassisted. Draw control in the middle. Ryan Mucci was in on the draw control. This go round instead of Avery Baker. So the Eagles will have possession after the whistle. Menard gets it to Lauer. Avery Baker now trying to get the Eagles on the scoreboard. Four unanswered goals, for the Nor'easters so far. Bemke spins. Gets bumped, retains possession, and a big stick save there from Ferraro.
Yeah, Bemke's been having those possessions where she's kind of getting doubled and triple teamed and finding herself in kind of an alley with nowhere to go. So she's got to be careful to move that on a little bit quicker.
UNE walks into the offensive zone. Collinwood over to Ryan. Ryan works around the back of the net. And a whistle. So UNE will have a free position opportunity. Chloe Ryan shoots and scores. False start, so the goal won't count.
That's a little odd. Yeah, and now maybe that can give Backer a chance here to kind of read what Chloe Ryan wants to do.
Ryan does the same thing, and a leg save there from Backer.
Yeah, I think that false start on Husson helped them out more than it probably should have.
Menard working up the sideline, triple teamed by the Nor'easters.
Got to look to move it.
Backpedaling, big clearance pass.
It seems as if Husson doesn't want to move it until they're triple teamed or double teamed. They have to make those passes to get out.
Henderson down low for Carney. And into the middle, and the Nor'easters are going to put one in the back of the net.
Yeah, that'll be Chloe Ryan. She had the goal there on the free possession shot that got called back. She's able to get that one there for a second of the game. And Husson and UNE kind of were going back and forth in the first quarter, and now it seems as if UNE's kind of blown out Husson. It's been all UNE in this second.
So Chloe Ryan will score her second of the day. Ainsley Carney will pick up her second assist. We have a whistle and a timeout here on the field. UNE has a 6-2 advantage with 7:31 remaining here in the first half. We will step aside and be back with some more lacrosse action here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Back here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network, Jake Willett with Nolan Humphreys. Here out of the timeout, 7:31 remaining here in the first half. UNE has exploded for 5 unanswered goals here on the season opener. So we'll have a draw control after the goal. Again, Ryan Mucci at the circle. And ball still on the turf. Scooped up by the opening goal scorer, Reese Sullivan. Avery Baker now. Mucci. Down low for Sullivan. Into the middle for Adela maybe. And it'll be a turnover on the Eagles. Collinwood will work over the middle of the field. Finds Molly Henderson. Trying to find Collinwood in the middle. Stolen away by the Eagles.
You have to kind of take advantage of these moments for where UNE makes those crucial mistakes because, 5 unanswered. Here goes Avery Baker.
Baker all alone, and a big save by Ferraro.
Yeah, that's one probably 99 times out of 100. Avery Baker is going to be able to put that into the back of the net. Really, really good save by Olivia Ferraro.
Ferraro has been very solid in her collegiate debut. Ball goes out of bounds on the Nor'easters.
Yeah, the ability for her to kind of wait for Avery Baker to make that initial move, the patience from Ferraro there was really impressive. Kind of like a hockey goal out in the shootout.
Kate Bemke. Hockey connoisseur Nolan Humphreys next to me here. Reese Sullivan. In the middle for Baker. Trying to get off the schneid and into the back of the net. She does. Avery Baker pots another goal here in the season opener.
Yeah, and sometimes you need your best players to show up, and she had that breakaway one-on-one with the goalie and wasn't able to put it in the back of the net. And this one, she kind of drives the play here, gets the pass, and does it all herself. And if Husson's going to win, Avery Baker's gonna have to be the best player out there, racking up multiple goals.
Absolutely. Avery Baker, 2 goals in the season, now up to 133 career goals, now just 9 points away from the number 1 spot. A tie for the number 1 spot in program history. Mucci back in the draw control circle. And another win for the Eagles. Ryan Mucci continues to show some success on the draw control.
Yeah, ever since making that change with going Ryan Mucci instead of Avery Baker, it's definitely helped them out and see if they can turn it into a goal.
Kate Bemke frustrated with herself, went over the top bar.
Yeah, that's not one you miss too many times there. You just get overexcited. You see so much room.
Eagles have another opportunity. Adela maybe loses it. Different style of Eagles lacrosse coming out of the timeout after that first kind of stretch of the first quarter and the first part of the second.
Bimke did a really good job there before passing it to Avery Baker, not to force a pass and just kind of take it out.
Baker finds an open teammate. Mucci was the one with it. Bemke trying to find something. Gets knocked from behind and scooped up there by Carruthers. Excuse me, by Jacobson. Jacobson was looking for Huizenga. And the Eagles will have possession now. 3:45 remaining. Bemke. Slowing the pace down, finds Gracie Gardner.
Yeah, I don't know if she's choosing to slow the pace down. I think definitely have some tired Eagles out there. They've been working in this offensive zone, way more than the first quarter, so that's a big reason for it.
Really slow offensive pace right now since the timeout.
And I think you're okay with that. As long as you beat the shot clock, you're fine with eating up some time. Again, it's only the first half, so it's not like you need kind of everything all back right now.
Avery Baker behind the net. Gardner is going to get bumped and a whistle. So Gracie Gardner now with a free position opportunity. This would be a great opportunity for the Eagles to get one back. And Gracie Gardner puts one into the back of the net.
Yeah, goes with a nice little sidearm shot there from a little bit further than what we've seen some of these goals go in, and a little sidearm one that stays on the turf all the way through. A good goal, and now Husson's got 2 unanswered. They cut the lead to 2. That timeout, I mean, Jacob, you can tell that timeout definitely lit a flame under the Eagles.
Absolutely. 2:42 remaining here in the first half. Gracie Gardner scoring her first goal of the season after a 15-goal performance in last season's campaign. Also coming off of a Central Maine Collegiate Field Hockey Conference Championship for the Eagles in the fall. Big piece on that field hockey program. Avery Baker's going to get a green card. So she'll be off for a minute. And UNE will have the power play.
Yeah, it's going to be crucial right here with this next 2 minutes and 34 seconds in the second quarter to be able to kind of kill this man up situation for UNE. See if you can, not allow them to score.
Chloe Ryan puts it in on the power play. So now Chloe Ryan captures a hat trick.
And they're kind of leaving that right side alley wide open is Husson. I don't know if there's a defensive breakdown or, lack of communication going on, but it seems like that's where Ryan's gotten all 3 of her goals.
Emma Collingwood's going to pick up an assist. So just 10 seconds into the power play, Chloe Ryan gives the Nor'easters a 3-goal advantage. Whistle. And a foul on the draw control. So UNE takes over. Abby Como. UNE working with some pace. And the shot goes wide there from Sydney Ballatin.
Yeah, really good job, honestly, just being able to get that shot off. A lot of congestion kind of in that crease, so good job just even being able to get one off and get possession back.
Nor'easters working the ball around the back of the net. Como up top for Ballatin. Ballatin walks into the middle, fires and scores.
Yeah, really good goal there for Ballatin. Able to split the defense. No one's able to kind of get back on it, and believe that's another hat trick for another UNE player. So 2 hat tricks now, one with Ballatin and the other one with Chloe Ryan. I mean, those 2 players single-handedly have 6 goals, so.
So the ball will reset at the top. So the Nor'easters have jumped back out to a 4-goal advantage. Another draw control win for Ryan Mucci. Comes Reese Sullivan. Finds Bemke, and the Eagles swinging it around. Mucci to Baker. Baker looking for an option. Shot, score! Reese Sullivan picks up her 2nd goal of the night off of the feed from Avery Baker.
Yeah, really good feed there. Baker, we know her mostly probably as a goal scorer, but she's able to facilitate as well. Does that to Reese Sullivan, who picks up her 2nd, and a nice kind of turnaround shot there. And, UNE kind of had the momentum because of the last 2 goals that they scored, and Husson did a good job kind of putting a plug into that. And see if you want to kind of go into halftime here strong. See in the next minute, maybe if you can get one more.
Avery Baker moves into sole possession of 4th place now on the assist score sheet, the assist leaderboard. So now she's 11 behind her head coach, Amanda Days, who sits at 59 assists in her career. Ballatin to Ryan. Under 40 seconds now. Walks in and shot and scores.
Yeah, and that's a tough one there for Husson to allow. Molly Henderson just kind of walks in. Again, that's that right side where UNE's kind of gotten most of their goals from. Defensive breakdown. You can see Husson right now talking about it, and Molly Henderson just walks in. And at that point, there's nothing Salem Backer could kind of do about it.
Collingwood picks up her 2nd assist of the day on the goal from Molly Henderson. Henderson had 15 goals in her last campaign in the 2025 season for the Nor'easters. 38.1 ticks here remain in the first half. Mucci again in the draw control circle. And a win for the Nor'easters. Ballatin. Here's Como. Gets it to Collinwood. Under 20 seconds now. Nor'easters trying to get a final shot off. Carruthers throws one towards the front of the net. Knocked down. And that'll do it for the first half of action. University of New England holds a 9-5 lead here in the first half. Nolan, what did you like from the first half for the Eagles, and what did you not like from the Eagles in the first half?
Yeah, I didn't like their defensive breakdowns and how they're kind of leaving that right side of the alley kind of left alone, and that's where UNE's really been able to exploit and score most of their goals. And then I like offensively what they're doing. I think if they had more time of possession, they would have more goals. I think it's that easy. One thing that I think they can do to fix that is have easier breakouts and don't wait until you double team or triple team to try to pass the ball. Kind of get a move on it now. Make that pass a little earlier. You know, Husson's right there. They've got kind of the offense that they want around Avery Baker and Bemke. So I think you're fine with those people on offense. I think defensively, fix the breakdowns and fix the zone exits, and I think you'll be fine.
9-5 is the lead for the Nor'easters. Nolan and I will be back with second half action here in about 9 minutes here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. We'll be back in a flash. Welcome back into the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Jake Willett. I'm joined alongside Nolan Humphreys. First half action has come and gone here in the season opener of the 2026 campaign. And we'll have a draw control to start. This time it'll be Adela Maybe. The Eagles will actually just start with the ball. I like that better.
Yeah, that works. I mean,
With the draw control numbers
yeah,
so far today.
10 for UNE, 5 for Husson. So I think that definitely favors the Eagles. They'll take that any day.
Avery Baker gets it to Gracie Gardner. Maybe. To Bemke. Bemke surveys, uses the screen. Gets it to Avery Baker again. Avery Baker with 2 goals in the first half. Kate Bemke added a tally on the assist. Still hasn't seen the back of the net here. Gracie Gardner spins, shoots! And a big save there from Ferraro. Adela Maybe. The UMass Dartmouth transfer. Gets it to Bemke. Ryan Mucci. Bemke uses the screen up top. Bounce shot. Another big save from Ferraro.
Yeah, really good job there, kind of working on his screen. And Bemke tried the low shot, wasn't able to go. Ferraro with a good read, good save.
Ball way up the far sideline. Saving a couple fans. Riley Menard. Adela Maybe. Maybe takes a stick check. Into the middle. Triple teamed again. Avery Baker up top. To Bemke. Mucci loses it. And corralled by Abby Como. Eagles get it back. Gracie Gardner. Swinging it around. Bemke to Sullivan. Back to Bemke. Kate Bemke. Whistle. We have a free position attempt here for Kate Bemke.
Yeah, you want to get it off quick here. Don't allow the UNE defenders to close in.
Whistle. Bemke shoots. And knocked aside.
I think what's going to work best to beat Olivia Ferraro is going to be those bounce shots, especially off of those free positions. If you can get your stick high, obviously the higher the release point is of that ball in your stick, the higher the bounce is going to be. But then now you've got to work in angles and whatnot. And Jake, I've never been good in geometry, so.
Neither have I, brother. I almost failed that class in high school.
Yeah, I don't even know if I took that class, to be honest with you.
My geometry teacher would write left-handed, but he'd write like in front of his body, and then he'd look over his shoulder and be like, "We good?" and then erase it.
Yeah.
It's like, bro. But back to here with the green turf, not the blue turf of UNE. Valley Carruthers walks in and puts one past the goalie backer. And Valley Carruthers will have her second goal of the day. I believe her second free position goal of the day.
Yeah, and all these free possession type of goals or shots and attempts are going to be costly. It's like getting a free kick in soccer is really going to be kind of the poised opportunity for you to put the ball in the back of the net. So UNE's been able to do a really good job at capitalizing on them. And, for Husson, those ones are going to come back to get you if you go on and lose this game just because, they're kind of goals that are right there. So something to think about as this game goes on and UNE extends that lead to 5.
Adela maybe gets her first draw control attempt, and won by Abby Como. So another win for the Nor'easters. They had to have spent a whole week on it. It's multiple hour practices, just draw controls.
Yeah, no, they're doing a really good job right now, and we've seen a couple different people for Husson kind of get thrown into there, and obviously the best one probably is going to be Reese Sullivan for sure. We know Ryan Mucci was in there, and Avery Baker started out there, but didn't have much success. Obviously, Sydney Balatin's kind of been the big piece for UNE there. 7 draw control wins.
Speaking of Balatin, walking into the middle, clears it out. UNE has the power play after Avery Baker just went off with the green card. The Nor'easters have been pretty solid on the power play, and a shot goes wide and into the giant snow pile that rivals the size of Mount Katahdin over there.
Yeah, there's a lot of snow out here. And it was, I'd say probably to start the game, the weather felt nice, Jake, but now it's getting to those temperatures where it feels very frigid.
Sun going down. Ball in the middle. Collinwood wide open in front of the net and gets it to go.
Yeah, really good feed. Believe that was Molly Henderson or Ainsley Carney who had that really nice pass to Collingwood there. And of course, you're on the player up advantage. You're going to have more players than the other team. Someone's going to be open, and if you're behind GLE and you're able to sit there and have your team cut in front of you, someone's going to be open. All you have to do is make that pass from point A to point B. If everything goes smooth there, the odds of you scoring are going to be very, very high. And, people probably look at that and go, yeah, it's on the goalie. That there was nothing Salem Backer could have done about that one. Especially if it's player up, you have to really trust in your player down defense to make a stand there. And unable to, unfortunately, but Husson moves on.
A win in the draw control for Adela, maybe. And the Eagles using some space into the middle. Wide open, and shot goes wide there from Ryan Mucci. Head to the sky after missing that one.
Definitely been chances for Husson. I think they're just trying a little too hard, definitely from the inside. It's almost as easy, Jake, as just putting your stick down and just letting it bounce. Don't shoot high. I always was told when I was playing lacrosse, I don't know if it was because I was bad or not, but always bounce the ball, never shoot it high.
Here comes Chloe Ryan. Look to have hit the post. So UNE will still have possession. Collinwood to Carruthers. Henderson into the back of the net. Around the back of the net, I should say. Collinwood, the most recent goal scorer. Balatin with already a hat trick tonight. Henderson works around the net. Clears it out. Chloe Ryan to Balatin. Thought about a shot.
Yeah, a little good pivot there. That's going to draw the defenders.
Collinwood shoots one wide. Right in the middle. Balatin is going to put one in the back of the net.
Balatin's going to get her fourth. That's not a word.
Fourth.
Going to get her 4th goal of the game, and that's going to be the number 100 mark for goals in her career. So very good job there. And the senior from Syracuse, New York, gets the 12th goal in this game and the century mark in her career.
12-5, the advantage for the Nor'easters. Balloton's 4th of the season, 100th on her career. Molly Henderson picks up her 2nd point of the night, tabbing as an assist. So back to the middle of the field, maybe in Como. On the draw control. Little feet positioning there for Como, Abby Como. Ball thrown up and corralled by UNE. So another draw control win for the Nor'easters. And they will start the possession here. The Nor'easters again on the offensive end. Carruthers to Cloutier. Henderson around the back of the net. Collinwood. And a whistle. So a free position attempt for the Nor'easters now. Collinwood has already put one home.
Yeah, and there's been a couple of goals off of this free position, and there's going to be another one right there. I mean, UNE's they're doing a really good job. It's kind of like free throws, if you will. Like, you get fouled and you kind of go into the spot where you're supposed to, I don't want to say supposed to make them, but you've got a very good chance at making them. And one team's doing really good on that, and you can tell, they have 13 goals, and the other team has had those chances, and they haven't been able to capitalize on them, and they've got 5. So, I mean, I think the two big stories are going to be those free possession shots and then definitely time of possession.
Collinwood picks up her 3rd goal of the night. So another hat trick for the Nor'easters. Adela may be looking to win the draw control here for the Eagles. Ball thrown up.
All these hat tricks, but I don't know if anybody's gonna want to throw their hats or beanies. It's a little too cold for all that right now.
Tukes are staying on people's heads here at Boucher.
That'd be a lot of cleanup if they did have to throw them in lacrosse, just
Right?
based on the fact that there's a lot of goals that happen, a lot of hat tricks.
McDonough down low for Baker, spins, and a turnover. Whistle? Avery Baker will once again come off the field. Green card assessed to Avery Baker.
Yeah, I believe that's going to be her fourth card in this game, and that's definitely, especially Avery Baker, that's a player that you don't want going off. You don't want any player really going off and putting your team and player down, but especially her. She's your best player, best goal scorer in a moment that you need goals.
Henderson with possession behind the Eagle net.
UNE has had 2 goals on the man up, looking for their 3rd now.
Whistle?
Gonna be a free possession, I think.
Yes. Emma Collinwood, again, another free position attempt. Oh, it's Molly Henderson this time, and a big save by Salen Backer. Big over the top clear. Was looking for Gracie Gardner. Couldn't reach her stick.
And I've been saying free possession shot. It's position.
Well, we're all learning here.
That's right. It could work both ways.
It could.
But possession.
It really is a free possession.
Yeah.
And the Nor'easters now with the ball again. Abby Como. Now to Chloe Ryan, who has been very solid on the offensive end for UNE. Shot across and a save by Backer. That was Hallie Heizenga that rifled that one to the net. Back to even strength. Ballatin gets one in the middle. Heizenga. Whistle. So we will have a free possession shot.
Yeah, and UNE's done a really good job at capitalizing on these, and they've already scored about 4 goals on them. See if they can make it 5.
Hallie Heizenga walks in and puts one over the top of Backer.
They're going to say no goal. Crease.
So all the folks at home, hit the rewind button. Pretend I never said that.
There's going to be no goal. She kind of got up in the crease, and I thought she took a little longer than usual to get that shot off, so it makes sense there. And
turnover in the neutral zone by the Eagles, scooped up by the Nor'easters. Here comes Cassidy Jacobson. Molly Henderson with some pressure, clears it out. LeSure getting some action for the first time. Heizenga in the middle for Ella Cloutier. And just out of the reach. And here come the Eagles. Adela Maybe. Another turnover in the neutral zone from the Eagles. We have a whistle. We're going to get a green card. Assessed to Kate Bemke. Ashlyn LeSure.
And that could kind of be the story of this game so far. 9 penalties for Husson, only 1 on University of New England. So it's going to be tough to stay in a game when the penalties are that lopsided.
Henderson working around the back of the net. In front, shot, and gets into the back of the net. Who else but Chloe Ryan? 4th goal of the night. And UNE takes a 14-5 lead.
Yeah, a really nice goal, kind of wrapping around there on the man up and able to put it in the back of the net for a 4th goal of the game. And that time of possession, it seems like this whole 3rd quarter, it's been all UNE. And it definitely shows that on the scoreboard. Husson hasn't really been able to work their offense like they were in that 2nd quarter where they scored 4 goals. And you've got to be able to win these draw controls. I think it starts there. It's again, it's kind of like hockey with those face-offs. It's you win the face-offs, you're most likely going to win time of possession.
Speaking of winning a draw control, you should have just started speaking those into existence earlier.
I know. Maybe I'll do that every time now, and we'll see if the tide can turn a little bit.
Gracie Gardner directing traffic. Throws it in the middle. Knocked down by Avery Baker. Swung over to Gardner. Down low for maybe. Gardner working around the back of the net. Gets it to Kate Bemke.
One thing I'm seeing here is that there's not a lot of off-ball movement. There's a little bit from Husson, but there's not as much as there is for UNE, and I think that's why UNE is able to get all those goals is because there's tons of off-ball cutting going on, a lot of movement. And Husson's got maybe one or two players that are doing it, but that's about it. So I think that'd be a good key change if a timeout were to happen. If Amanda DeHaze is able to talk to her group, maybe get some more off-ball movement.
UNE with the offensive break now. Underhand toss to Molly Henderson. And Chloe Ryan's just going to retreat and reset. Nor'easter's slowing the pace down. Back up top for Collinwood. Around for Carruthers. Great ball movement now for the Nor'easters around the top of the key.
Yeah, and they're making these passes before anybody's getting double teamed or triple teamed and essentially kind of killing time.
So that'll do it for the first 3 quarters of the season opener. University of New England storms out with 5 goals in the third, shutting out the Eagles in the 15-minute quarter. They lead 14-5. Nolan and I will be back for fourth quarter action in about a minute and a half here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Back here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network, Jake Willett, Nolan Humphreys, here in the chilly central Maine area of Bangor, here on the campus of Husson University. UNE will start with the ball here in the fourth. As they ended the third quarter with possession. we have a green card right off the rip. Cassidy Manchuk. Eagles starting with the ball. Adela Maybe. Into no man's land. And, oh, what a save there by Kate Bemke. Ball out of bounds. And the Eagles have the ball now. Kate Bemke. For Adela Maybe. Bemke up top. Sidearm shovel, and Avery Baker throws it over the top.
Yeah, really good pass, though. That's the look that you want. You want to get it to your best player, and Baker just a little too high on the shot. Got to shoot it low.
Got a whistle. And it'll be a free position shot. Well, free position option here. This is not free position, as we've been told.
It's free possession.
Free possession. There we go. Gracie Gardner with the ball. Gets it to Bemke. Mucci works to the middle. Throws it in the middle. And Riley Menard. Throws it in the middle. Maybe throws it up in the air. Still trying to find possession. And we got a whistle. So the Eagles are called for the violation. So now UNE takes over. With under 13 minutes to go here in the season opener, University of New England has a 14-5 lead over the Eagles. 2 4-goal performances for the Nor'easters from Sydney Ballatin and Chloe Ryan. Nor'easters swinging the ball around. Cassidy Manchuk. In the middle. Bounce shot. Knocked down by Sailor Backen.
Yeah, really good save there. Backer did a really good job at just kind of being up in her crease. Didn't really know that that ball hit her, but if she wasn't there, it would have went in. It was really good positioning, and now Husson can take it the other way.
It's at a point where it's so cold that I don't think you would have felt it.
Yeah, no, you definitely don't feel it when you're going out there. I think maybe when you get slashed, you feel it every now and then, but the ball, it doesn't really feel like much, especially at these. I mean, it feels like it's -10, but
Kate Bemke gets poked up on the head. Abby Como, 2 minutes, so she gets a yellow. Free position opportunity as well. I believe Kate Bemke has the ball in the cradle of her stick. Shot. Bemke puts one in the back of the net. Eagles get their first goal of the second half. And it's Kate Bemke, the reigning North Atlantic Conference Rookie of the Year.
yeah, you've got to, with those position shots, you have to be able to be willing to get that shot off before the UNE defenders close in. She does that. She balances it, and it goes right past Ferraro there, and that's exactly what you need on the player up now for the next 2 minutes. You want to see if this can kind of string maybe a couple of goals together here because, in lacrosse, it's never out. 8 goals isn't a lot for one quarter here, so obviously it's going to be tough. They've got to work for it, but I think that Husson, with the offensive talent they have, they'll be able to do that. And, winning draw controls, it's kind of like that possession game, right? You want to win them. I said this last time Husson had one and they won it, so we'll see if that works.
Won by the Eagles. Dude, we had this. We had the game plan. We just waited till the third quarter to do it.
Yeah.
Eagles working the ball in on the offensive end. Maynard. Down low for Baker. Baker walks in and finds the basket of Olivia Ferraro's stick. Baker with the pressure on the defensive end. Big clear over the top and knocked down. We got a whistle. Avery Baker again will come off the field.
Yeah, that's going to be our 5th card of this game. And again, you don't want your best players spending too much time in the penalty box.
Dangerous contact.
I believe that's 2 minutes there. And now
Yep.
Now if you're Husson, you go to even strength. You lose that man-up advantage that you had. And again, when you're down 9 goals with a little
under 11 minutes.
Yeah, a little under 11 minutes, then you start to get in that range where you're playing with fire a little bit. You want to try to get going as quick as you can.
So UNE will have the ball. Julia Baldwin, Canton, Connecticut native. Got a whistle. UNE with possession after a little technical difficulties on the shot clock.
One thing you watch and you look at UNE, their ability, as I believe we're going to have a position shot here. They do a really good job at cutting and having their sticks up and available. If you're a passer and you're seeing that, it makes it a little bit easier to have a target instead of just throwing it out there.
Ella Cloutier with the free position opportunity. She walks right in, flips one over the top, and it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, and when Husson needs Salen back her the most right there, she comes up with a pretty nice save. Whether, she got anything on it or not, she was a pretty big reason why that one did not go in. Good positioning by her.
Little communication between one of our officials down on the field. So UNE will have the ball. Swinging it around. Manchuk. Carruthers. Back to Carruthers. Manchuk. Another whistle. Free position opportunity. It'll be Valley Carruthers. 9:05 remaining. Carruthers walks in and saved there by Salen Backer.
Yeah, really good save there. She's had a couple of consecutive saves that have been really nice and definitely keeping Husson in this one.
Avery Baker back up on the field. Collinwood in the middle for Cassidy Manchuk. And Jory Boyd. Haven't said her name in a while. Riley Maynard. Stops, spins, loses it. And UNE takes over. Collinwood into the middle for Chloe Ryan. Quick fast break offense here for UNE. Cuts to the middle, shot, and it goes into the back of the net.
And a tough goal there as Becker made a couple of good saves consecutively the last couple of minutes, and this one's just going to get by her. And now if you're Husson, you're 9 away from UNE. You've really got to start playing in your own end and kind of changing this time of possession game. Obviously, we've talked about it. It starts kind of at that draw control spot. You want to be able to win those. We've seen them win the last two, and it's been Adela maybe, excuse me, for both of those. So we'll see if she's able to do just that.
Adela maybe. The draw control position against Valley Carruthers. Whistle. And it's going to go the way of the Nor'easters.
Yeah, a tough break there for Adela maybe there is a little bit early. So it goes right to UNE, and not what you want when you're down 9 goals.
Nor'easters back on the offensive end. Carruthers couldn't handle it. Swung around the back of the net. And goes out of bounds into the giant snowbank. So the Eagles take possession. So we have a green card assessed to Ava Parisi, freshman from Hawthorne, New Jersey.
And now the biggest challenge right now for Husson is you've got to be able to get up the field to get into your own end here while this 50 seconds and counting power man up is going on. And this is something that they've struggled with, is going the full length of the field.
Big collision on the sideline. So Cassidy Manchuk will come off for a minute. So a 12-on-10 advantage now for the Eagles.
Yeah, now, I mean, obviously up 2 players here. I'm not good at math, but you should have a good chance at being able to get it in. Why not just do that?
As I always say, we're journalists, not mathematicians. Gracie Gardner walks in, a big save with a body for Olivia Ferraro.
Yeah, Ferraro did a really good job there reading that Gracie Gardner only had one angle to shoot from. She went up and closed off that angle, and no goal.
Now Ferraro getting involved, receiving a pass. Has all the time in the world. And will throw it right out of bounds. So the Eagles now have an opportunity. Gracie Gardner. Adela maybe. Abby Como back into the play. So both green cards do not go the way of the Eagles. Bemke, jump shot, scores!
What a goal there for Kate Bemke. Highlight reel-esque type of goal. And a really good job as she's going to get Husson on the board in kind of like a jump shot type of fashion.
Yeah. Send that one to Jack Webb, Fox 22, ABC 7. That's got to go on Plays of the Week on the Sports Roundup. So Adela maybe back in the draw control circle. 5:22 remaining. 15-7. The lead for the Nor'easters. I keep wanting to combine New England and Nor'easters.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Same same kind of letters in there.
Right.
New England, Nor'easters.
See, you almost just did it.
Yeah, I know. Right? That's why I just go UNE. I take the easy way out.
I've been saying UNE a lot, so I'm kind of trying to mix it up. Shout out Dale Duff for teaching me that. Ball into the middle. Shot, score.
Yeah, another goal there for Balaton, and that's going to be our 5th goal of the game. Really good bounce shot.
UNE goal scored by number 14, Sydney Balaton. Assist to number 5, Ava Parsi.
And when you have the more time of possession than the other team, and that's just what's going to happen. You're going to be able to put more shots on and be able to score the ball a little bit more.
Sydney Balaton's 5th goal of the season. So an immediate response for the Nor'easters about 20 seconds, just under 30 seconds after Kate Bemke's highlight reel goal. Back in the middle, Chloe Ryan walks right in and can't get a shot off. Kate Bemke starting to heat up on the score sheet now. Couple goals here tonight. Bemke walks in, into the middle, shot, score! Reese Sullivan pots the hat trick goal.
Yeah, and one thing that you like from Husson right now is the effort that they're continuing to give. The game might be out of reach, but Husson's doing a really good job at staying into it, understanding that this is the first game of the season. This performance is going to carry to the game Saturday at noon against Dean College, and then from there, when you go to Boston to play UMass Boston, and doing a really good job at, no matter what the score is, being able to finish it through, and Sullivan's going to be able to pick up the hat trick here.
Avery Baker back in the draw control circle against Abby Como. And a whistle. It's going to go the way of UNE. Avery Baker gets whistled for that.
I think definitely the draw controls are going to be a big point of emphasis for Amanda DeHaze coming up this week, and tomorrow and Friday, and then the week after that in practice. Definitely going to be a point that they're going to want to make sure that they get correct for the next time they come out to play, is because you can win a game off of draw controls, and you can lose a game as well. So
3.5 minutes here in the season opener. 16-8. The lead for UNE. Working it around. Balaton dumps it into the middle. Down low, Carruthers swings it around. Up top for Balaton. Into the middle. And scooped up by Salen Backer. Big over the top throw. Avery Baker, if she can get there, she'll be in all alone. And a big body check. Cassidy Jacobson laid the boomstick onto Avery Baker. So Cassidy Jacobson.
And now you go man up if you're Husson for the next 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes and 2.5 minutes left in regulation here. So you see if you can at least pop 1 or 2 more goals here before time expires. A lot of off-ball movement right here.
They must have heard you.
Maybe. I mean, that's exactly what you need in lacrosse is off-ball movement. And they're doing that right now. And I guarantee, Jake, it's probably going to end up in a goal.
Into the middle. Bemke shoots and scores.
Yeah, Avery Baker right there to Kate Bemke. And, you know, I don't want to sound like a broken record, Jake, but off-ball movement leads to a goal. Baker finds Bemke curling into the alley, and really good shot there for Kate Bemke, and she gets yet another goal to add to her sophomore campaign, where obviously last year as a freshman was the NAC Rookie of the Year, NAC first team. Or excuse me, NAC Rookie first team.
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year, yeah.
All conference first team.
There you go. Good player, pretty much.
Yeah, great player.
At a league, really good player.
Adela maybe back in the draw control circle with Abby Como.
She's done pretty good in the draw control. Has probably been the best for Husson.
And a win. Adela maybe continuing to show out here in her return to the area. Played her high school ball at Bangor.
Yeah, maybe she'll be the one to go Saturday and kind of lead that draw control area of the game. It'd be hard to imagine she doesn't, the way that she's been able to win them here in this second half.
Eagles working it around. 1:25 remaining here in the regulation. UNE has a 16-9 lead. Into the middle, was looking for Lauer. And collides with the snowbank. There was Riley Maynard. UNE with the ball. Gets it to Parisi. And Parisi loses it out of bounds, so under a minute to go. Chelsea Curtis throws it into some empty space, and it's going to go out of bounds, and UNE will take it.
Yeah, tough turnover there. You know, there's 30 seconds left, but you still want to try to be able to complete these passes in these areas of the game where you haven't done well in, like clearing your own zone.
Abby Como with 20 seconds left on the clock. Como gets it down low. Under 10 seconds now. Ball thrown into the front of the net. And that goes out of bounds. And that'll do it here at Boucher. Here in the season opener. UNE takes a 16-9 win here in the season opener. They will travel to University of Southern Maine on the 24th and then return home for a quick homestand at the Blue Turf. Not the only blue turf in the country. Shout out Boise State. Bridgewater State on the 27th, and they open up March with a home contest against Maine Maritime Academy. The Eagles will host Dean College on Saturday at 11 a.m. Nolan will be on the call for that one.
Yep.
He'll be in that same exact seat And then they will travel to UMass. They will travel to Boston to face UMass Boston on the 28th and Suffolk on the 1st. Nolan, final thoughts?
I think Husson, they've had some negatives in this one, but I think they also had some really good positives that they'll be able to carry on. Again, it's the first game of the season, so you can't harp too much on what they did bad in this one because it's a long season ahead. There's going to be adjustments and changes, and there's going to be stuff that gets moved on down the line. So overall, I think one thing that you could jot up is that they had moments where they dominated UNE. It was small, but they had moments. I think they'll be able to carry this into the game Saturday against Dean College.
Sydney Ballatin scores 5 goals in the win for UNE. I'm Jake Willett, joined alongside Nolan Humphreys. Nolan will see you on Saturday.
Yep.
I will see you the next time we come back here to Boucher. UNE takes this one 16-9. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It may very well change their life. Have a great night. We'll see you next time.